So I've recorded this video twice now, this being the second time, and I may or may not have hyperfixated a little bit. The V6 playtest came out. It is live and read the entire thing over about 5 times. So I'm here to run you guys through my notes. So it's very obvious that they're going for a more stripped down version of the mechanics in this. It's super simplified, like super simplified. I was talking to my buddy Lamar, aka Lamar the Conkai, and he was mentioning how V5 is really hard to get into without, like, say, having somebody to help you and introduce you or mentor you in. And it seems like they're setting up V6 to be for, like, the new players. They've never played any World of Darkness medium before. This is going to be their first interaction with it, which I agree with and I think is great. Therefore, however, one, the storyteller to player packet ratio was ridiculous. The player packet was huge, and the storyteller packet was this big. Also, blood potency is gone. I get it. Blood potency was actually a little bit irrelevant in the fact that we had like 1 to 3 blood potency for this generation. I agree that that was a little purposeless, but the generation modifiers kind of annoy me. And why the hell are the Giovanni back? Like, come on, you can't take a bloodline that got absorbed into the Hakata and go, oh, no, actually, they're the Hakata now. Anyway, let's actually get into it. So, firstly, the things that I really liked, because there were, honestly, I looked at this and I saw potential. There is potential with this version. It's in the 1.0 version. Obviously, there's potential with it because it's the baby version. But, like, you read it and you can see this has a lot of potential for being not just a Vampire the Masquerade V6, but this is them opening up the entire world of darkness and trying to connect them. In the past, the versions have felt very stagnant, or I don't know if that's the right word, but they felt very alone. Like, Werewolf didn't feel like it matched with Mage, that didn't feel like it matched with Mummy, that didn't feel like it matched with Hunter. So we're kind of getting a little bit of that because you do notice that it says creature you play, and then it's got like vampire. So the first main thing that I really liked, I really kind of attached onto, was the fact that we now have a nature, or a mortal and a monstrous tracker. It's not just your humanity, it's the beast and your mortal nature. What that means is you can now have an outburst or a frenzy either way, which I personally like because it gives consequences to playing high humanity characters, and it gives consequences to playing too nice, too mortal, too human of a character. I mean, we're vampires. Being too human should come with problems, I think at least. Additionally, I really like that the natures give a little bit more to character creation, because like you've got the scientist, you've got the romantic, you've got the survivor. Like, there are different things, and it tells you how your nature would react, how your mortal would react, how you would outburst, like different ways. I really like that because it gives a little more depth to the character creation process. I like anything that gives my players more consequences. So the other thing of note is that Diablerie rules as written are different, older, revised, newer. In reading over the Diablerie rules, which I'm not going to read one for one, I'll put them like here somewhere. If you fail like a control check during the Diablerie, the soul enters your consciousness and it joins the beast, which is canon now. Jason Carl's beast voice is now canon. But if you frenzy, it takes control for the rest of the night. And if you frenzy 3 times, it takes control forever. Gotta love that. And I might be biased because that may or may not be how I've been playing Diablerie anyway. I mentioned earlier that there was a change up with the clans, so like the Giovanni are now in instead of the Hakata. Not only that, they have necromancy again. Disciplines are changing. Look at the packet. It's still in progress, but some disciplines are changing. So Caitiff has now been kinda, sorta, maybe fixed. It was a little bit of a broken clan. You get 3 random disciplines as chosen by your storyteller. And to be fair, I've never played a cative, but if I did play a cative, I'd probably buff them out too. V5 allows it, so why not? I mentioned that character creation kind of got a bit of touchy-touchy. So now we have a part in character creation. There's a school bus right outside the window. They are in fact staring at me. I didn't think they could see me through the blinds, but you know, that's what we get for trying to use natural lighting. So now, part of the character creation process, there are 2 different things that help, and it's very particular. I very much like this. I really, really like this. So you've got the sire merit, where you choose what kind of sire or what kind of upbringing your kindred had, and that determines an additional point in a discipline you get. Say you're a Toreador and your adoptive sire is a La Sombra, that means you can get a point in Oblivion. You feel me? There are so many people outside today. Everyone's outside, everyone's staring at me. Additionally, we have what's known as life paths, and life paths determine where your skill dots get allocated. They basically auto put in some skill dots. So like if you're an investigator or like you were a journalist, they allocate skill dots into what would help with journalism. Depending on how old you are, you can get more than 1 life path because you've lived a long ass fucking time. And I really, really, really like that. It helps, again, with building out characters, building out the individuality of each kindred from bloodsucker to bloodsucker, basically. It seems like, and from my own deduction, they might be bringing the Sabbat back as a playable sect, because we no longer have convictions, we no longer have touchstones, the humanity tracker is different, so it's possible now to play Sabbat in this form. There was a section that said Valdery, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. What the fuck? And it talked about Valdery, talked about the ritual of Valdery. So, it's giving we might be able to play Sabbat. Now for the things I don't like. Tell me why the fuck the beckoning is already over. Why is it already over? Why are they jumping the shark? There was so much they could do with that, and they just dropped the ball. Like, there's literally, you open the player packet and one of the first things you see where it's like, what is this world, is the beckoning has ended, elders have returned, and they're hollowed out. There's so much that could have been done with that. What happened? Where? Who? What? When? What? Why? I think it ended too early. It needed to end, yes, and we needed to get the elders back, yes, but it ended too early, / without having enough built on it to make it worth even being an aspect of the game in general. The writing. The writing needs a little bit of TLC because there are terms that genuinely make me mad. One of those being AI slop. Not only is it mentioned multiple times in the introduction to this continuity of the world of darkness, but it's even quoted that hunter factions think kindred are responsible for AI and AI slop. And I get it. That is what's going on in our world, and that's what's going on in real life. But there is a different way you can phrase that. Brain rot, for instance, could be a good rage bait, clickbait. It feels weird that they picked that. Also, why the fuck do storytellers have to pay a currency for events happening in the story that I'm writing? I thought I was God. What do you mean? And when I say paying currency, they have a thing called a drama resource, which I think is a little ridiculous, but also, okay, is it 50-50? One of the reasons for it is ridiculous, one of the reasons for it I can actually get behind. So basically what drama resource is, the storyteller has to pay drama if the players, they literally said it in the thing, say they fuck up and have a painful failure in Elysium, which is basically a bestial failure. They have a painful failure in Elysium, that's going to be a problem anyway, that's going to cause consequences anyway. Oh no. The storyteller needs to pay drama points for that to have consequences on the player. So, Editor Cassidy here, and I'm realizing that might be actually for NPCs, but it's not clear. So what I'm hearing is the players can mine out the drama so the storyteller doesn't have any to spend on them. Now, there is one benefit to having that cat-mouse game with the players, storytellers, and the drama. If the drama only could be used on NPCs for NPC actions, NPC buffing, things like that. Use 2 drama to dip the fuck out of this situation completely unharmed, not take any more damage. The other thing is, the Devil's Bargain is now an official rule set. It's no longer just a cliff notes on the side. So if the storyteller decides, no, the Devil's Bargain you've offered me, I don't want to take it, they lose drama points. So you can offer weird-ass Devil's Bargains. And every time the storyteller says, no, this is crazy, or this is dumb, or this is illogical, they have to, there's no amendment or exception for if the players try and abuse that, which I would if I were a player. I'm looking at this, I'm trying to break the game to see how the game breaks, you know? And here's the other thing that I kind of genuinely just don't like. Merits and flaws, gone. Near completely. Sure, you can go to revised V20, V5, find merits, write them into your character sheet. If your storyteller accepts them, cool, awesome, fun. But they are not part of the character creation anymore unless you want to take the extra step, do the extra research, go out of your way. They are not focus anymore. I don't like that. I loved flaws. I loved using flaws. One of my main ones was stigmata. All of my characters had stigmata. All of them. And all of them had the merit eats food. There are specific things that those flaws and merits allowed, and I think taking them away is honestly just disappointing. I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that. I think that actually might be a common thought process. I can't even tell y'all just how much more I have. We haven't even talked about physical and social combat. It's now one unified procedure. There's maturing disciplines that, as you gain dots, automatically get more powerful. Ooh, I'm excited about this. They are moving away from doing photography and going back to the hand-drawn illustrations that we know and love, similar to Tim Bradstreet. I literally have one right here. And as far as I know, it is our homie G Outstar who is going to be responsible for that. Ultimately, this V6 playtest seems like a complete ground-up push to make a technical book. This is mechanics. Now, whether this mechanical D&D-esque version is good or bad, that's truly on what the players and the storytellers themselves value at the table. There are going to be people who are completely against this version. There are going to be people who, when this comes out in its entirety, will use it as a way to finally get into Vampire the Masquerade after years of not knowing how to. And I won't know until I actually playtest it. My verdict is this is a solid base ground for them to work on. They do have the form out for constructive criticism. They are working on it. There are changes coming. But I personally think that, especially in the character creation, it lacks individuality, and in the storytelling, it lacks focus. Lucky for me, when I playtest it, if I don't like this version, I can always go back to V5 or V20 or my homebrewed version or whatever version makes me feel like I'm playing Vampire. This is, again, the beginning steps. It's up to us, the community that love this game so much, to help make this better. The entire storyteller and player packet are going to be on Demiplane, the Nexus. I have all of the appropriate links down in the description. There's also a form that White Wolf has sent out. I've mentioned it a few times. Go fill it out. And remember that this is just a vampire game. It's not the end of the world. But with that, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you click subscribe and hit the bell if it does anything. I don't know. I do have an actual play coming up around the corner. I don't know when, but around the corner at some point. And I got some interesting stuff coming out for the channel. So again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment what you think about V6. I want to know y'all's thoughts. But with that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.